9, 8, 7, 6, 6, 6.
Hey guys, this is Ghoul from Descent into Horror Hell along with my co-host
Skid Ghoul.
And we are kind of doing our tribute here now to Killjoy or Frank Pucci, whichever you know him by. A lot of his good friends knew him by Frank, but a lot of people like us knew him as Killjoy of Necrophagia and Word of Lock and all that.
Many great bands.
Many bands. Basically, this is kind of our tribute video to him, talking about many of his bands that he either sang in, produced in, just basically his legacy and gore and sickness. I mean, that's what this is about.
Absolutely.
It's about the man,
I'm gonna try to do him justice for sure.
We do what we can here at Descent into Horror Hell as far as tributes go, and this definitely goes.
This one really hit close to home. I mean,
yeah.
It still kind of hasn't even set in yet, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and so we're going to kind of go through some of, things he's been known for in bands, producing and horror, co-directing, you name it. So without further ado, we give you the tribute to Killjoy.
And now it's going to fucking cost you your life, you fucking moron! You fucking dickhead! You're fucking out of your mind! You're fucking out of your mind!
What's going on, fans of extreme horror and metal? As promised, this is going to be our Killjoy tribute. We're going to focus on bands that he was involved in and also special appearances and bands that he helped out in his career.
His record label.
Yeah, Baphomet Records. Absolutely. So let's get into this. First band obviously would be Necrophagia. And what I chose for this is my personal favorite record. I mean, Season of the Dead and Holocaust de la Morte are just, you gotta have them, right?
Divine Art of Torture.
Yeah. But this is my personal favorite, and sadly this would be their last record that we never would know, White Worm Cathedral. Amazing record. The Dead Among Us is probably my favorite song, The Rat Witch. I mean, we were lucky we saw this tour twice, so this one really means a lot to me. White Worm Cathedral.
I have... Shit. I figured this out.
Some of these aren't in order.
You gotta go through the whole thing. His thrash band back from 1990, Killjoy. It's like thrash metal, power metal kind of thing. It's
definitely got a Testament vibe to it.
Yeah, it was an
kind of seems like clear in some.
Yeah, it was an experimental thing that he did, but Compelled by Fear is definitely, it's a cool record to check out. It's all for Relentless Records from 1990. You can still get it. They actually just did a re-release on it, so if you guys can get it, definitely check that out. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely not the Necrophagia vibe.
He was definitely going in a different direction, but man, it's cool. Still awesome.
It's good thrash metal, man. I love it.
Here's another good thrash metal. He did Cabal after Killjoy in the early 90s.
Oh, yeah.
This is an amazing album. I believe this is the only album they ever made. It's called Midian. Really got a good... I mean, if you're fans of Dark Angel and Possessed, stuff like that, you're gonna dig this up. It's really good production, really good hard, heavy guitars, and Killjoy's vocals are sick as hell, man. Cabal, great visual.
Moving on to Viking Crown. This was the black metal project kind of summoned up by Killjoy and Kill and Phil. And Viking Crown is one of those real raw, gritty. They wanted to kind of go to the Norway scene and try to be real gritty about their black metal. So Viking Crown was born. They got 3 albums that are put out. Killjoy's on one of them.
He's on
two of them.
Innocence from Hell and Banished for the Pig.
Yeah. So Unorthodox Steps, which was actually really just Phil doing everything.
That's a great, it's a good band, man, because, you know, they're one of the few black metal bands that incorporate horror and black metal together.
Because they both loved it. Phil and Killjoy are notorious for knowing horror and metal. So definitely check out Viking Crown. You can get this stuff actually pretty cheap. Definitely check it out though, Viking Crown.
And I have one of my personal favorite bands, Killjoy was involved in, with Danny Liker and Chris Redford, Autopsy, and that is The Ravenous. Ravenous is one of my personal favorites. This actually could be the Autopsy album that Autopsy never made, you know?
Absolutely.
And but I'm glad they made it their own sickness, man, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Orgy and Dog's Blood is like one of my favorite songs, dude.
You can also check out, they also had 3 on a Meat Hook as well.
Blood Delirium.
Blood Delirium, which obviously has the famed August Underground Boredom picture on it with Fred Vogel and stuff. So.
And we'll also just say Ivan real quick. Ivan was a project with Satyricon and Fenris and Dark Throne. Phil again as Anton Crowley for label reasons, for legal reasons.
Yeah.
But that was a great band. They released one song called Mere Soul Jesus off the Moonfog 2000 compilation album.
Yeah.
And also they released an unreleased track, which is really good. You can actually find that on YouTube.
It's on YouTube, yeah. You can definitely check it out. Check out Ivan.
Really good black metal supergroup. I know Killjoy didn't like the term supergroup, but really that was an amazing band.
For us, it means a supergroup.
And we hope we hear some more, definitely.
Gonna go on to Gorelord and Wardelock. Wardelock he was a part of. Gorelord he actually only did Force Fled on Human Flesh. He did some guest vocals on, along with Maniac.
Hell's Kitchen track.
But Wardelock, Wardelock, dude. Yeah. Ceremony in Flames.
It's fucking awesome hearing Maniac and him sing duets together because you can't really tell who's who.
You really can. I mean,
I can. I mean, if you're a real
fan, you can. But most people that just listen to want to hear good metal, definitely check out Wardelock and Gorelord. Obviously, they did a lot of splits in Creature Feature 1 and 2. That picture discs, all that stuff. Check out Redstream. You can get a lot of that stuff off of there. Absolutely. Definitely check out some Wardelock. I love Wardelock. Great band.
They're definitely one of my favorites that he did. And Killjoy did a band that's really rare. Not a lot of people even know about it because they're just so shrouded in mystery. But a band called Hidden. I know Mariah of Psy, who also was in Necro for a while, is on this as well. And this is really good. Really unique type of metal too, because it's not Satanism or gore. It's about cosmos and space exploration and Armageddon stuff. It really was an awesome band, man. And I believe Killjoy. I know Killjoy's on this record, but I think he might be on this one as well. But I know they got the singer Krieg to be in the band now, but
not Creed.
No, not Krieg. Of Krieg, black metal band Krieg, and these are great albums, man. Check out Hidden. Never heard them. Good stuff.
Yeah. All right, we are on to Enoch.
Yeah, man.
Which is Mirai. Yep, and Killjoy. It's almost like Goblin, but kind of more death metal, kind of real weird. It's like the soundtrack to your favorite horror film of the 70s, like a Fulci film.
Definitely Fabio Frizzi guy did Fulci's.
And that's really all it is. It's just it's the graveyard disturbance that brings the living dead to life.
Yeah.
So Enoch, definitely check that out on Baphomet Records, which is Killjoy's label, which we'll get to later. So definitely check them out, Enoch.
And this band I can't fucking pronounce for the life of me, but
nobody can.
I'm gonna try it. Yoshihachron.
Sure.
Yoshihachron. I don't know. This is awesome. It's not metal per se. It's more industrial. Like I know Killjoy was a fan of bands like Call Me Christ, The Skinny Puppy, stuff like that.
Yeah. Very synth. He did a lot with synths, like synthesizers.
Attila Kishner of Mayhem is also on this, and it's cool to hear them both sing. But this is really good stuff as well.
It's a lot of
kind of more underground.
It's a lot of synthesizer stuff, and it's really cool though. I mean, it's something you put on in the dark with a candle.
Yeah, Kind of like Enoch.
Of course, his last band, Hoxton. This would have been the last project that he did with all the members of the last known Necrophagia lineup with Sean and Serge and Jake, and it's just Hoxton was just, man. We heard the tracks, the 2 tracks they released on YouTube, and early before the album, and I just fell in love with it. It was just, we love that kind of stuff. It was definitely
groovy black metal.
This was going back to the days of that second wave of black metal, the Norwegian black metal scene.
Sean
Throne, the Emperor,
and Sean was actually playing guitar on there.
Marduk and Serge and drums, which is awesome. You can still get this on Hell's Headbangers Records. You can get this off. I'm sure Redstream will carry it at some point, but definitely check out Hoxton. This was another great band. It was like Necrophagia, but black metal in that direction.
Awesome.
Definitely check them out.
Now we're going to do some bands that he helped promote and produce and put on his label, Baphomet Records. I guess I'll go first. This is a death metal band called Head Meat. They're kind of reminiscent of early Incantation, and they're really good stuff. Love it.
Oh, yeah. Alright, moving on to a little EP, Diabolic. 3 Mothers. Good black metal. Very dark. It's almost like death, doom, black. I mean, it's kind of a mix of everything.
Definitely
it's good 3 tracks. I mean, that's really
definitely good Dario Argento vibe throughout the mini album.
Absolutely.
Undead Torment, who actually played in Necro for a while, is the leader of that band. One of Killjoy's favorite bands that he believed in, Thorn Spawn. This is really good U.S. black metal.
Great black
fucking
metal.
Grimace, man.
Oh yeah.
Great release from Baphomet. Awesome. I can totally see how he, along with Demon Sea and Summon, how he totally believed in these bands because they really carry the torch for this, another U.S. black metal.
Yeah, there's very few and far in between as far as good black metal.
Excellent shit.
Bound in Human Flesh.
Yeah, man.
Very good band. Very death metal, mixed kind of with like blast beats and stuff, and yet that kind of groove to it. Bound in Human Flesh.
When I first heard that band, I thought Killjoy was actually singing because the singer sounds just like him.
Yeah, it's very necro back in the day.
We got some Avi Satanas, Religion of Pity. This is good old Fred Diablo, Norwegian black metal at its grimmest, satanic, just unbelievably badass record. I love it. Avi Satanas, check that out.
Kind of in the same realm, another Fred Diablo, Svartpest.
Yeah.
Norwegian, I believe.
Yeah. Him and Fook
from Necrophagia.
His brothers in that.
Yeah. So, Svartpest put out another one as well, another album. Very good grim black metal.
Yeah.
At a good high tempo. It's got some groove to it, obviously, but it's very good, good black metal.
And we have some Memorial. Memorial is kind of, they kind of remind me a lot of an early Immortal, like, Pure Holocaust or something like that. Really good black metal, awesome. This was a really good release on Baphomet for sure.
Alright, moving on to Psy. This was the only, they actually do have another album. This was the only one that was actually released on Baphomet. Gallows Gallery. I mean, this is a great fun. It's so depressing, but yet it's kind of doom metal.
They got horns in their. I mean, Psy is one of those bands you can't classify.
Yeah, it's like Portal. Like you try to classify Portal. Like, what are they? Death metal, black metal, doom metal. Like they're kind of all over the place. Psy is one of those bands. It's
Killjoy
so
does a creepy narration.
She does a narration. They're all clean vocals, which is kind of cool. So. Definitely check out Psy.
He's a man of many talents and many voices. For sure.
Oh yeah, he did a lot of voice, like normal voice stuff early on. It's cool to see in various tracks.
We got an awesome U.S. black metal band here called Bloodstained Dusk. I believe they're from the U.S. I would imagine. This is awesome black metal, kind of reminiscent of like Emperor and the Nightside Eclipse. Like the first time I heard it, I kind of got that vibe from it. Really good, fast black metal with demonic vocals, man.
Awesome. Very much so.
Lovely.
Speaking of demonic, Demoncy.
Oh man.
Released for Hammerheart and Baphomet. So you know if they're on Hammerheart, it's good black metal. This would have came back from like mid '90s, I think, if I remember correctly.
That's a good release, man.
But yeah, the only Demoncy record that was released on Baphomet. Yeah.
They got some other demos, also.
Yeah.
But I think they're for an album.
But definitely check Demoncy out. You just want to check Demoncy out just for good black metal if you like it. Good groovy black metal.
Definitely. And I have Obscene Eulogy. This was an appearance by Killjoy with the members of Impaled Nazarene. And man, this is a hateful band, man. And Killjoy does I forget the track offhand, but it's a homage to the movie, Larry Cohen movie, God Told Me To, and it's fucking awesome. This is a really cool release.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, boobs.
Yeah, whatever. Alright. Now, obviously, out of the 3 Baphomet housecore records, Gore Lord from Fred Diablo. Hell's Kitchen was the one he did vocals on. Again, this record out of the 3 is my absolute favorite. You can get Texas or Norwegian Chainsaw Massacre and Suicide Part 666.
Zombie
Suicide. And this is my favorite. This album is so goddamn heavy.
Brutal, man.
And this
the heaviest killer guitar crunches you'll ever hear.
And this would be something that Necrophagia could put out, and they would be proud to put their name on.
I mean, Fred Diablo himself was
Necrophagia, of course.
It makes perfect sense. Absolutely.
But yeah, check out Gore Lord definitely off Baphomet and Housecore.
The band called Stagehouse. This is awesome. Dark Throne homage. That's what I got from it. Really good necro sounding black metal. Definitely a Dark Throne type vibe. Maybe even early Burzum and stuff like that. Awesome shit.
Alright, last one I got for you is a interesting release. Very hard to get released with Opal Weinstein and Phil doing Southern Isolation. Very acoustic. This is not what you would expect. When we talked about death metal, black metal, new metal, all that stuff, Southern Isolation is a total other entity. If you've never heard of them, they're almost like, they're not love songs, but they're just very meaningful songs. They are stuff that
it's good music to go in the dark and slash.
Yeah, you know, Southern Isolation is, if you can get a copy of it, good luck. But if you can get a copy of this, it's very, I don't even know how to classify it.
It's in the league of itself.
It's like Typo Negative, kind of went acoustic. Like it's just
a little bit of Swans, a little bit of The Cure, maybe Fleetwood Mac as well. I mean, that's what the great thing about Killjoy was. He was a fan of so much types of music. He wasn't just a fan of extreme metal. He loved that stuff, but he was a fan of, you know, the Smiths, Morrissey, Sex Pistols, Plasmatics, Elvis, absolutely. He was just a fan of music in general, and he was a true musician. And his influence, whether bands today, like, you know, Cannibal Corpse or whatnot, even know it, I'm sure they do. They are, Necrophagia and Killjoy in general is so influential to bands these days for imagery, atmosphere, lyrical content, definitely artwork. I mean, you Season of the Dead and even Death
the zombies coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Seasons of the Dead. I mean, just look at that, man. It's, you got zombies coming out.
And the fact that Necrophagia started in 1983, I mean, Jesus H. Christ.
That was before, I mean, Slayer just started. Metallica was in diapers at that point. I mean, to say something, you know, to be part of the big four of death metal.
And what's cool about Necrophagia too is, like, you know, they're so important to metal in general, because, you know, they came out when more thrashy death metal scene was going on with bands like Possessed and Dark Angel. They said before, I mean,
you name it,
stuff like that. Hellhammer definitely, but they influenced the black metal scene, the second wave of black metal in Norway.
Norwegian scene,
because Maniac was good friends with Killjoy, and then got in touch with Euronymous, and I mean even Euronymous and Mayhem dedicated Chainsaw Guts Fuck to Killjoy up a Chainsaw Lust track, man. That's fucking awesome. In the first pressing of Death Crush, you can actually see that, and if you can find it, good luck, man. But his influence was just undeniable.
It was there.
Yeah.
If you knew about it, it's the same thing, and it's really a shame that Necrophagia never really got into the spotlight that they deserve.
But they are the kings of the fucking underground. I mean, if you're a fan of the underground, and obviously we're too young to know what tape trading is, but they were the kings of that. I mean, they didn't even play many shows in Wellsville, Ohio.
The people knew who they were.
But they just sent demos out all over the world, and people latched onto it, and, you know, the rest is history, man. But Killjoy, Frank Pucci, is a human being.
First and foremost, he's a friend. He's a brother. He's a
great guy, man.
And that's the thing. It's like when you kind of, take all the levels off somebody who is a superstar, is somebody who's an athlete, or somebody who's at the top of their game. When you take all the layers off, man, they are really just like you and me, and that's, I think, where it comes down to, where the people that we know, or the people that we talk to that knew him personal, like me and, Skidgore here.
Just hanging out, watching horror movies.
For the people that know him, to the people that, like us, who, we met him and stuff like that, but it wasn't, we didn't get to hang out with him on a Saturday night,
Once it did much
he never treated anybody any different. You'd meet him and he'd be on stage and be this totally different guy, like corpse paint on and blood and hanging, severed heads and whatever.
Tongue in mannequins and sticking his tongue in it.
But it's like when you talk to him, it's like, oh hey man, I can get you, I can get my email address, you can hang out. It's like,
he was a great guy. Man.
It's like
if you were lucky enough to meet him, man. You know what we're talking about. He would fucking stop.
He was just
fun,
talk to the fans. Fun as hell, and but we'll definitely these were a lot of the releases that he had.
And we didn't go really in depth in a lot of these because this would be like a 3-hour fucking tribute.
But you guys got a good idea.
Yeah,
but we'll come back and give our final words here of Killjoy.
We'll get into some of his horror aspects.
So definitely come back and join us, guys.
Full Chili's, go for it.
Cheers.
Still talk to Phil, or?
I don't. I give him all the credit in the world, because without him, I wouldn't be doing music anymore. The guy is.
You were doing Viking Crown with him, I guess, before that, or is it?
No, that
came later.
Yeah. No, but I have nothing against him personally, and I think it was a rough period in his life. He was going through a lot, and. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll talk. I mean, and life's too short to say never, but I don't see ever working with him musically, but to have a beer with a guy or smoke a joint or whatever, yep.
Nothing like a good old classic gore Necrophagia video, man. Definitely.
It's like a horror film mixed to music.
Yeah.
It's great.
Like, definitely have that atmosphere in their music and their riffs and that vibe that no other band has, I think. Man. Their sound was so unique and their style was so unique.
Oh yeah.
So that was our music portion of the Necrophagia Killjoy tribute for sure. And now we're gonna get into some gooey, gory goodness that he was involved in, whether it be DVD releases or his involvement in The Last House on Dead End Street from Roger Watkins, or even working with Jim Van Bever and Coffin Joe. So let's go. Cool. What you got?
Yep, we got the Gooey Ooey Necrophagia Through the Eyes of the Dead, directed by Jim Van Bever. This was kind of it's a gore fest. This was obviously when Anton Crowley, Phil Anselmo was in Necrophagia. This was during the time of like 97,
98, 2001.
But yeah, Redstream put this one out. Seasons of Mist put the DVD out. I know now you can get this on Massacre Video. They did a really cool, badass release of that.
Yeah.
Both on VHS and DVD. So
I'm glad they re-released that. Man.
Definitely check that out. It's gore, it's boobs, it's blood, it's everything, man. And Jim Van Bever is a motherfucking genius when it comes to this. So definitely check out Through the Eyes of the Dead from Necrophagia. Not go wrong either way. If you're a gore fiend,
if you just saw the video we posted for They Dwell Beneath, he was definitely involved. That's all from that. So definitely check that.
You'll know him.
And I got a Necrophagia video called Nightmare Scenarios. This was around 2003, 2004 time, when Killjoy reformed Necrophagia with Red Diablo on guitar, Foog, Mariah of Psy, Tina Tainta on drums, and Esgaroth of Immortal. And it was a great group, man. Like, this is probably Necrophagia at their most productive, in my opinion. The Philip lineup and Wayne Faber lineup was very influential and very important in Necrophagia's career, because they made some of those songs that are stand the test of time. But I really think this is where Necrophagia really, with this lineup, really, they started touring more. They got more exposure, and definitely started working with, legends like Coffin Joe and Paul Nashi, and it's all on here. Even working with Ryan Nicholson. Definitely, if you're a gorehound and extreme metal fan, you'll definitely dig this up. This is one of my personal favorites, Nightmare Scenarios. Gore forever, man. Check this one out. Do what you know.
Well, this is not a Necrophagia, really anything by any stretch of the imagination, but Roger Watkins' Last House on Dead End Street from '77. The reason why we brought this up is because this was released by Toe Tag and Killjoy.
I'm directing this fucking movie! I'm sorry.
Killjoy owned the rights to this film and wanted to give a good release of it, because the only release up to this point was the Barrel Entertainment, which goes for a good price.
Get the mortgage your house to get it.
So they kind of put this out on DVD with a really badass package. Me and Skidgore both got it, and it actually came with the mask, but we didn't get that.
We didn't get the mask.
Like 70 or something like that, but no, this was the reason we put this in there is because Killjoy did have he was behind the whole project, the design of it, and him working with Toe Tag and Fred Vogel was awesome. They do some of the intros to the film itself. Definitely worth checking out. Last House on Dead End Street. At least this version.
Classic, man. And again, with Toe Tag, like they're so inspired by that film,
Yeah.
And it really shows too.
So it's not so much like Killjoy's in it. It's just the fact that he is, because he does an intro, but it's not. It's kind of a cool release. You can still eBay probably to find something like that. But, but definitely check out that. It's a cool release. It's kind of like what Massacre Video does with their movies when they release The Beyond or Dr. Butcher MD. They always have some really cool movie trailers, real gooey and stuff that the stuff you don't find on the internet.
They definitely gave that route.
They did the treatment to that. They showed some of their favorite film trailers and stuff. So it's really cool to check out. So.
And speaking of Toe Tag, I gotta say a project that unfortunately never happened was called The Gospel of Gore, and we're gonna fucking roll that goddamn trailer right now. wasn't that fucking badass. Goddamn. I wish that fucker would have came out. I really do, man. Because there was just that, you seen that trailer, you just want to watch more, you know what I mean?
Right.
Well, speaking of toe tag, we're going to go into what he's probably most known for with this group, and that is August Underground's Mortem. August Underground's Mortem is, it's not for everyone.
That's probably the worst out of the three, I think.
Yeah. This, and of course Killjoy was in it, which is awesome. This is the one of the sickest movies ever made, and it's really an honor that one of the most influential metal stars of the underground is in one of the most underground sadistic movies ever made. I just thought that's fucking great, man.
Yeah.
Definitely Fred Vogel, Krusty, Jeremiah Cruz, and Killjoy really made a movie that really pushes the boundaries of what
especially
horror
for
can
its
be.
time. I mean, there were movies that came out, but like Necromantic and stuff. But that was like, the snuff film never really made a real impact as far as like the old VHS style. And when August Underground really did that with their three movies, and this was one of them that it gives you that at-home feel when Killjoy in the tattoo shop's like getting in a fight with Fred, and it's like when you're watching.
Don't yell at me!
when you're watching it, you don't really like. You're kind of, oh my god, these guys are fighting. When you know them in real life,
yeah, man, they were like brothers. They were total brothers.
So it's a joy to watch it now, or even when you realize like what relationship they had. It's funny. It's a good time.
And Killjoy and Toe Tag really.
Like, hey, come here. Let me show you something.
They really were a family, and they really made movies that really, like I said, pushed boundaries, pushed a lot of buttons, got banned a lot.
Oh yeah.
And Killjoy did a lot of cinema wasteland and horror appearances, like at horror shows and stuff with Toe Tag, and that's how a lot of people probably met him. Unless they saw Necrophagia, live or something. But he did all those horror conventions. Unfortunately, myself and Ghoul never were there. I wish we could have.
We got to meet him otherwise, so.
But yeah, we did meet him twice, and that was awesome. But he was just a cool, down-to-earth guy, and definitely a member of Toe Tag family. And definitely check out AU Mortem at your own risk.
One here is another live DVD, which is Necro Torture Sickness.
Yeah.
This obviously was from 2003?
3, 4, yeah, something like that.
And this, what really stands out here is when you got Fred Vogel as the butcher coming out. It's like, and
he's beating that old man with the hammer to the drum beat too. It's like,
yeah, and it's a typical Necrophagia show, but this kind of gives you the stage show, the stuff that they did, I mean, this really is the epitome of like what Necrophagia did on stage, which was, it's really cool to see.
They also must have been a really fun band backstage, because there's so much good antics on there and extras.
So it's, Necrophagia always put on a good show. The times we saw them, it was just, they were the best. Later on in their years, they didn't necessarily have, because the lineups changed so much that you couldn't really have a stage show that was so consistent. But Killjoy, you could always tell.
The music always spoke.
Always having a severed head, or a mannequin, or just something where Killjoy. Not everybody in the band was getting in with the gore and stuff, but Killjoy was always. Every time we saw him was, dealing with something with a corpse or a mannequin.
See maybe spit in the mannequin's mouth and
it was just, he got so into his music, so you could always, it showed through these live DVDs as well.
Yeah.
So
here's another one called Gore Lord and Warlock, Drunk, Damned, and Decayed.
Oh.
This is a really awesome release. Definitely if you're a fan of the band Vertalock, and
Gore Lord.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is a great release. You get to see some awesome making of the music, also some music videos. Killjoy and Fred Diablo had some fucking wild, funny ass times together, man.
Oh yeah.
And they must have just been the best of friends. Like, that was so cool. Like when they're at Fred's house and they're watching horror movies and like making that whole porn thing that they did. That was so fun. Kuka Las Vegas or something like that. And Olafas, Hail Olafas. Anyone that's seen this knows what I'm doing. Olafas! But man, that's, Killjoy was a great, not only musician, but person, and just a huge personality. And myself and Ghoul will miss him very much, and I'm sure.
And a lot of people watching this, friends, like I said, people we've met on, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. I mean, what an impact he really had in death metal or metal in general. Even if you didn't know who they were, even if you thought Necrophagia was Necrophagist.
I meet people like that.
Yeah, wrong bands, but I mean, even if you meet people like that and you talk to him, again, he was a guy on a stage that wanted to show people, hey, these are the horror films I love. I'm going to show you, and I'm going to tell you what to watch. And like I said, we met him a few times, and
good story.
he just, being able to talk to him, such a humble guy. And I remember the first time we met him.
Let me tell that. All right, Necrophagia was doing sound check at the time, and we got to the Chicago show, and I saw Killjoy outside smoking a cigarette, and I was just, holy shit, dude, it's fucking Killjoy. He's like this tall, but that's fucking Killjoy.
You're like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah. I was losing my mind, and I fucking yelled at him, Killjoy, what's going on, man? And he looked at me, stubbed out his cigarette, and walked back in the fucking venue. And I was like heartbroken, dude. I turned to Ghoul, I'm like, dude, my idol's gonna be an asshole.
You were crushed.
I was fucking crushed. But then I realized he was getting into character because he was doing sound check. I was a stupid, naive dumbass that tried to get him over to talk to him. Yeah. He didn't want to talk to me. He was doing his job.
Yeah.
And later, when we talked to our friend Hansi, he set us up with Killjoy and the rest of the band, and man, it was just such a great fucking time talking to him about horror and his.
But I remember
Coffin Joe.
Do not forget that I had actually my girlfriend at the time. They were in the bar after sound check, and
so we're going chicken shit and talk to him.
We're sitting there going, well, I don't know if we want to bother him. I don't know if we want to bother him.
Yeah, because they're all ordering food.
So we sat at the table, and my ex-girlfriend goes, and she just ignores us and goes right over by him, and shakes his hand, he gets his picture, and says, oh, these guys want to meet you. And next thing you know, we're over getting pictures. That was the first time we ever met Killjoy.
So that was
a bunch of school kids, but
and he was super cool, man. He sat down next to us and just signed everything.
Yeah.
I mean, he signed my.
And it was cool because I brought my Killjoy tape from the
Compelled by Fear.
and he looked at that and he goes, I haven't seen this in years. And then, and I mean, you're just showing this stuff. He had the Dark Harvest shirt, from the comic book series that Killjoy made. And, he signed that. And it's just, he was just such a cool guy. He didn't act like, hey, I have to be someone.
He didn't act like a rock star. He just acted like a human being that likes horror.
And this is the thing, you talk to, a lot of, like I said, the people we talk to on Facebook, and I can name names. I mean, John to Fred to Serge to Jake. I mean, all these guys, Caitlin, all these people that, we talked to that knew him personally. And kind of like what we did, but they had a little bit more, I think, closer encounter with him, hanging out with him, drinking with him, partying with him. This goes out to you guys as well. I mean, we tell our stories, from what we know. And it's cool. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. I mean, you see people posting these videos of Killjoy kind of at his last moments, the last time they hung out with him, and it's bittersweet because it's cool to see them that they find, they surfaced, but at the same time, they're surfacing kind of for the wrong reason. It sucks, but what we can do here as horror fans, as metal fans, as fans of Necrophagia, Word of Lock, Viking Crown, all of his bands, is just let the memory live on. Share the videos, share your insights, the stories. That's what we all know Killjoy would have wanted. Tell a good story about
Killjoy would
man,
want the party to go on, man. He would not want anyone to mourn him because he was not that type of guy, man. He
sang about the shit.
He wanted the party. He wanted the party to go on and have everyone have a good time. Let the gore flow. Let the blasphemy And I just want to say real quick to Serge, Jake, and Sean, I hope you guys carry on in some other bands, or I mean, whatever you guys want to do, because you're too good to fucking stop. And I know Killjoy personally would want you guys to keep kicking ass and be blasphemy. So keep
do it, guys.
doing it.
So with that, this is Descent into Horror Hell. I am Ghoul.
I'm Skid Gore. We have one last cheers to Frank Killjoy Pucci.
And you know what? We're gonna let him take this away.
Yep. In his own
So
words.
Killjoy, take it away.
Pucci lives, go forever.